do something that they want to do, and the person is so proud of themselves. Sometimes that happens. Like for me right now, I really have that desire to live stream and to connect and to chat with my YouTube soulmates. I might be using the word soulmate differently, so I should explain. I think that a rock could be a soulmate, a house could be a soulmate, a cooking kitchen utensil could be a soulmate, a desk. My desk is one of my soulmates. I think like objects are soulmates, people are soulmates. There's all this stuff that just comes to us throughout our life, and it's all a soulmate. So that's how I was using that word. Yeah. So my name is Ari, and I'm gathering people together. Make sure you say whatever you want to say in the chat. Sometimes people get banned, and that's okay. Sometimes people are here to chat and here to stay, and that's okay. Today, like all days, many things are possible. So as this live stream begins, we will get to see who shows up based on who uses the chat feature. We'll get to see what people are thinking, what people are feeling. And yeah, I would like to have a word for the feeling I'm feeling. I guess I left my iPad. Oh, I can see it now. It's across the room. Look across the room. Da 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 da. That's okay. There's this website called feelingswheel.com, and it has a bunch of feelings on it. And I would love to know what feeling I would use to describe the energy that I'm aware of in this moment. I mean, I'm aware of thoughts of a very important person in my life that experienced death yesterday. So a very important person in my life experienced death yesterday. And that is just on my mind all day today. I didn't even notice how much it was on my mind until I started streaming, and I was like, wow, that's like really on my mind. I see James in the chat. James is letting everybody know that from his perspective, the glasses are looking great. That's what I take from that comment. You can let me know if I'm in the wrong. But yeah, cool. Something new around here is the name of my YouTube channel, Life of Ari. I'm thinking that nobody cares about that, and I know that that's not true. Brain, there's gotta be some people who care about the name of this channel. It might not be at the top of their mind, but it could be some kind of concern, or not really a concern, but just something cool to know. I'm calling the channel Life from Ari because I'm realizing something that brings me great joy, something like a video topic, like videos that I like to create, have to do with just telling stories and being in the moment with my mind and my feelings and sharing what's there. And that's life to me. Another definition of life that I have is living in flow eternally, and so that's really beautiful. I see Brittany writing in the chat space, letting us know she's here. Thank you for being here, Brittany. Feel free to use the chat however you see fit. And if there's anything you specifically want to share your perspective on and also get my perspective on, let us all know. We've got another comment coming in from Northern Verses 2.72. Hi Ari, I agree. Animals, trees, rocks, sun, Saturn, even space. All civilizations throughout history have worshipped all kinds of gods. Interesting. Very interesting. I think that is a fact that all civilizations throughout history have worshipped all kinds of gods. I'm curious what you agree with, because I wasn't talking about gods. I was talking about soulmates earlier. Like, to me, the word soulmate means something that matches my soul, and it could be a person or an object. I have t-shirts that I consider to be my soulmates. I've got pieces of furniture. It's a soulmate piece of furniture. Brittany has a question asking me where I am from. If you mean to ask me where my physical birth took place, you gotta ask it in a different way. I know where are you from is usually, usually people let people know where their physical birth took place, but I don't think I'm from the place that my birth took place. I have a belief that seems to be getting stronger every single day that my experience of human life is, something that is connected to other ways, that the energy that fills my body and makes me alive would go on another journey, like the start of my physical body being present on earth was not the start of life. So yeah, where am I from? I believe I'm from a beautiful place. The center of the universe comes to mind, and all of this is just theory because I tell myself I don't know for sure where I am from, but what if I told myself I do know for sure? Like, I do know for sure. Maybe I'm just from all of what existence is, possibly. Yeah. Cool. I see if you know, you know. 26 is here. Welcome to the live stream. Welcome, welcome. The state I am living in, the physical state on the map, always gonna be a mystery to you guys. Unless you solve the mystery, but it's a mystery right now. And yeah, I experience all different types of states of emotion and states of consciousness. That's always interesting. Brittany is living in the country of Denmark. Tell us all about Denmark. I see in the chat saying looks Jersey. Oh, like you have a theory that I might live in New Jersey. Okay. That's a theory. Oh, I can do that. Okay. All right, I'm ready for it. Tell us all about Denmark. What's it like? What's it like? Did you know that you're the only person that will ever have the experience that you're having right now? No one else will ever have the experience. No one else ever has the experiences that you have. Isn't that incredible? Hi, Cruz. I see Cruz 15244WD in the chat. ST Chucky says, and you are there. And I am here. I am here having an experience that no one else will have. Yeah. My body is complex. I wish it was more flexible. I need to stretch more often, like physically. Does anybody else stretch every day? Can everybody touch their toes? Like something, I want to get more flexible physically. Denmark is very beautiful and gorgeous. Ooh. What is gorgeous about Denmark to you? What is gorgeous about Denmark to you? Like when you say that, I picture like a beautiful open field, but it could be some of the landmarks, some of the buildings. What is beautiful about Denmark to you? Brittany loves it here. And everyone is so loving here. Oh, that makes me want to visit. Reading that, I'm like, okay, book a flight. I gotta tell my assistants, book a flights, tell my travel agent, Denmark is the next destination. Let's go. Let's go. I see ST Chucky writing that my teeth are gorgeous. Now everybody knows ST Chucky saying my teeth are gorgeous. All right. My teeth are fully functioning and I get to eat anything I'm interested in eating, which is really cool. Psalms 4818. I see a comment from you. What fun experiences did you have as a kid? I want to hear a story. Are we twins? Because I love stories. I love stories too. Hold up. I need a drink of water. But let's go. Let's go. Story time. Fun experiences. Okay, so, when I was a kid, my grandpa was married to my father's stepmother. So, like, my grandpa got married to another, like, my grandpa got divorced. I think my dad was around the age of 13, but then he remarried, and I don't even know how much time passed, but basically, like, I grew up knowing that on my dad's side, like, his mom and his dad had a divorce, and then his dad remarried. And so this woman, I mean, she wasn't related to me by blood, but she was very much a grandpa. So him and her had a beautiful house, and when I was a child, I actually was assigned a project I had a computer class. So I had a class where you would walk into the room and there would be rows of table with chairs, and at each chair was a computer and a keyboard. And so all the kids would come in, we would walk in a single file line on our way to computer class, and we would go to the computer class and sit at the computer. And one of my assignments once was make a video about your favorite place in the world. And I chose my grandfather's house. And so a fun experience that I had as a kid was that there were 10 cousins in total. Some of these cousins weren't related to me, like closely related by blood, because they were from my grandfather's second marriage, but I still, oh my god, I loved them. I loved them so much, and I actually miss them a lot because my grandfather got another divorce. He's married for a third time now, and I miss these people. I don't get to see it. It changed our holidays so much. But thank you for this question again, because I literally have never talked about this out loud ever. So amazing. So the really fun memory that flashed into my brain, I could see it in my brain when you asked about fun experiences as a kid. I remember just like piling up and wrestling with all these kids. Like, I was probably 8 years old. We got a couple people older, a couple people younger, and we were running and yelling and laughing. Like, one thing I remember about being a kid is I would get chased. I would chase other people chasing me. I don't even think it was communicated. Like, it would just naturally happen, and it was so fun. So fun. Sometimes my boyfriend and I, now, at the age of 28, will start to run around and chase. I think that's such like a fun thing to do. More common as a child, but yeah, part of me wishes there wasn't such a line between child and adult. Like, all the playful parts of being a child should carry on in adulthood, I think, because so amazing. So amazing. Lakeisha Ross asks, OMG, hi, do you remember me? Yes. Yes, I see you, and you were here earlier today, a couple hours ago. You were here a couple hours ago. Welcome back. Thank you for all the compliments earlier. I remember you telling me that I slayed with my song. I know. Now some of my stories are going to be about you telling me that I'm slaying. Let's see what other comments we have here. Let's see. Northwestern versus. I was not going in that direction, but I see that you are going in this direction. Our belief systems make sense and give order to these questions. Like, I literally have never thought of this before. So I appreciate you bringing this to my attention, that our belief systems give order to these questions. Who are we? Why are we here? Yeah, these are some big questions. Who are we? I would love to simplify that question, because I believe we have a lot of differences. And I believe there's a lot of things about you that I don't know. So for me to go, who are we, is very difficult for me, because I'm like, there's really I know you have some way to listen to this video. I know you must have Wi-Fi or cellular data. I know you might have thumbs if you're able to be typing, but if I think about everything that I know 100% sure about another person, it's really not a lot. So then I could simplify the question to, okay, who am I? And I know I'm a form of life. I'm capable of sight, and I know that other forms of life on this planet, like a cat, for example, will have a completely different sight of the same room, which is interesting. Like a fly will have completely different sight of the same room. So in a lot of moments, I recognize that sight is not reality. Sight is a sensation that I have the gift of. And everything I see right now, no one else sees the way that I see it at this time. I'm the only form of life. Oh, there is a cat right here also. But I mean, the cat sees the room in a totally different way, like I said earlier. So I know I have awareness of physical senses such as sight, hearing, touch, taste, and with these physical sensations, I can have many different experiences. I know I'm here to have experiences, like that's part of my definition. I'm here to have experiences. If anybody was thinking about wanting to see the cat that was in the room, your wish came true. Woo! Oh, that was a little bit embarrassing, but it is what it is. A natural response to scores in an animal. Does anybody, when you are holding a cute animal, you just squeeze? Why do we do that? Why do I do that? Because it just is. She's just extra cute right now. I don't know why. I think it's because her fur is like really fluffy. She's going to the groomer soon, because when her fur gets really fluffy, the fur gets knotted up and it can be uncomfortable for her. So we want to get her fur shaved so she doesn't have any knots on her fur. Oh, she's so cute. This is my angel kitty cat. She was purchased by a man, and the man is my boyfriend's brother. And my boyfriend's brother just asked me one day if I'd like to look after her, because his girlfriend has 2 cats and they like hiss at each other and don't share space too well. And I have a good connection with Fiona. I love Fiona. And I feel incredibly lucky. I think it's incredibly awesome that my boyfriend's brother would let me um, let me continue to have her as a living companion. She is the sweetest thing, and I love her. I love her so much. So yeah, where do we come from is another question that Northwestern Verse was writing here. Like where do you have any memory of your existence prior to having awareness of a physical body in the form of human life? I have memories of experiences that seem to come prior to human life. Not the life of all humans, but like my human life specifically. And it takes like trust and faith to believe that it is possible to have a memory that the timing of that memory is prior to the existence of my own physical body, to recognize myself as something that exists in a way after the death of my physical body and would go on to have other journeys and other experiences. I really believe in that. I really do. And it's very exciting and very cool. Psalms 48:18 asks, what was it like meeting your boyfriend for the first time? So a little side story about this question. Thank you again for this question, Psalms. So I have a list on the notes app of my phone of stories that I'm excited and interested to tell, to possibly film as like a long video for my YouTube channel. And one of them is about meeting my boyfriend for the first time. I was especially inspired to tell the story yesterday because my boyfriend and I are in a car driving to be at my boyfriend's grandfather's home that my grandfather shared with his grandmother, to be there on the day that his grandmother has passed. And I was, in that moment in the car thinking about the first day that I met him, and just it was very like satisfying to my brain to consider during the month of October 2023 I met a man, and now I'm driving to go experience the day of his grandmother's passing. And I mean, this woman became meaningful to me, obviously in different ways than she was to my boyfriend, because he knew her from the first day he started this lifetime on earth. But I've known her since I knew I was comfortable enough to meet my boyfriend's family, which was on the day of an Easter holiday. So I was a little bit nervous still to meet his family, but because it was an Easter holiday, I was like, okay, I guess I will visit this gathering and meet these people. Look at me in a committed relationship where I'm meeting his family. How did this happen? So, it was very magical and very unreal to meet him for the first time. I had some pretty horrible dating experiences. At the time that I went through those dating experiences, I thought it was very exciting, and I'm talking about the men that I dated before my boyfriend. for some of those experiences, I really thought, like, I didn't know much else. It was like a relationship that I was in when I was 24 years old, which was 4 years ago. I look back on that relationship and I'm like, wow, what a horrible relationship. But at the time, I was so excited, and it was exciting to have a boyfriend, and it was exciting to be like in my 20s and like meeting men, because I wanted to be married, and I wanted to be a girlfriend. I wanted to have a boyfriend. And I think, like, with hindsight now, I can see how wanting to have a boyfriend on the level that I did was kind of dangerous, um, because I think it made me more accepting of more people, versus if I didn't want a boyfriend as much, I might be more picky about who I'm spending my time with, if that makes sense. But yeah, my mindset when I met my boyfriend, I didn't have any desire to have a boyfriend. My desire was to go out in Tampa and go out on dates, go out in the city, go and do interesting things, and have some dates. And then at the time, I was living nomadically, so that means I didn't have one home base, and I was exploring different places. Um, I was in the United States at the time, but prior to that, I had been in Europe for 3 months, and I went to Paris, I went to Milan, I went to Vlora, Albania, I went to Salzburg, Austria, Germany. I celebrated my great grandfather's sister's 95th birthday. I was there for her birthday party with German relatives. And then I was in Florida, and I had not been on a dating app in many, it might have been, maybe it was 6 months or something like that. And I knew I wanted to go on some dates. I wanted to go into the city. I wanted to be taken out to dinner. Like, a guy coming to wherever you're living with the car, picking you up, going on a date for dinner, like, it's a nice feeling. It's a nice thing to experience. So that's something that I wanted at that time. And the day that I met my boyfriend, I was actually looking for a distraction, because I put together a live in-person event. I want to be doing what I'm doing now live as well. So I made the arrangements for that to happen, and people were planning to go to that event. They had their tickets, and it was that night before that event, and I was so nervous. And the whole point of the event was that I could give my full presence. Excuse me while I take a sip of water. So the whole point of the event was I can give my full presence. I can just say what's on my mind. I can talk about my feelings. Like, I can just be who I am in this moment. And what happened that night was my mind was predicting what would be happening, and kind of making these scenarios of what I would be talking about and what I would be doing. And that's exactly what I did not want to be doing. I was like, I want to go into this with no plan. So I took out my phone and I was on the Bumble dating app, and I had some messages from Nick, and he had introduced himself in this chat space, and I had mentioned that I was going to be in the area for a short amount of time, because literally in 2 days I was going to fly to another state, and then I would be in Ohio for 2 weeks, and then I would be in Seattle, Washington for 2 weeks, and then I would be in Bozeman, Montana for 2 weeks, and then I would be in Las Vegas, Nevada for 2 weeks. And then after Las Vegas, Nevada, I would be in North Carolina for, I think that was also 2 weeks. It was all these 2-week trips. But I had already mapped all this out before I met him. And so, you know, I didn't tell him my whole travel plans, but I did tell him, like, I'm only here for a short amount of time. I'm flying out of here in 2 days. He was like, what? And so his side of the story was that he felt an urgency that he needed to meet me. And he ended up getting out of bed and driving over to my place. And I was like, all right, well, you know, before meeting him in person, I thought, I'm just gonna hang out with him for 30 minutes. I'm just gonna sit outside. I didn't want him to come into my room. And this was a funny part too. So I had rented a room at an Airbnb that had a kitchen and a bathroom and a bedroom. And the room I rented had bed bugs in it. So I had to take all my stuff. The person that owned the Airbnb needed to wash every article of clothing I had, which I had a full suitcase and backpack full of clothes because it was all the clothes I needed for all the different places I would be going that I just listed. And so they did like all my laundry, and it was just a lot of laundry to do. I felt really bad about that, but there was really no other choice. And then the place that they gave me to stay was an RV, and I had never lived in an RV or stayed in an RV. I thought it was kind of cool. So I was in this RV. Part of me, I felt a little bit embarrassed. I didn't want him to come inside the RV. But at the same time, I also didn't even know this man. Like, I just met him. He seems nice and normal, but still, I'm not going to let you come into my bedroom and my kitchen and living room. Like, I mean, the RV had all that space, but it's kind of like one room. I'm like, this, I pictured what it would be like, and I was like, no, that's not happening. So there was this like garden type area with a fountain, and I told him, we will chat in this place. And I was thinking, okay, I'll hang out with him for 30 minutes, then I'll be going to sleep. And that was not what happened. I walked from my RV to where I knew Nick would be parking. And I was walking, and then when I got closer to, I saw his car. I just knew it was his car. I don't know how. I mean, just, I guess, assumption. Like knowing that he's gonna be here in 2 minutes and then I'm there in 2 minutes, it must be his car. I literally heard my own inner voice. And you know, it was so clear and so easy. And something about people is I want to make sure I can connect with my intuition easily. Like, there are some people that make me feel more nervous than others, but with him I felt so calm and I felt completely at home the moment I met him. We hugged for the first time and it just felt amazing. I remember looking up and seeing the moon and the stars above us. The night that we met, the sun, the moon, and Earth were all aligned in a line. It was some kind of special eclipse. 30 minutes went by. We had not kissed or anything, just talking. I did not want to tell him to go home. I wanted to talk to him all night, and he didn't want to go home either. And so he said, you know, would it be okay if I spent the night? And I said, you are absolutely not going to sleep in my bed. Like, I don't know you, I'm sorry. Like, there's no way. And then he said, what if we sleep outside? And I actually went for that. I knew I had big fluffy blankets in the Airbnb I was renting, and I knew there was a good place to see the moon and be surrounded by trees. And so we set up a little camp and we just kept talking. One thing I talked about that night was YouTube. I told him I made a YouTube video today, like a video for YouTube, and I'm scared to post it. At the time, I think I might have had, I don't know, 200 subscribers or something, and now I have over 3,000, and he's been such a big support. Like, every once in a while, I'll get a comment from a person saying, oh, I wish you didn't have a boyfriend. I'm like, well, if I didn't have this boyfriend, I don't know if I would be here. I mean, I wouldn't be here in this specific place, that's for sure. But, you know, it'd be a totally different timeline. But also, you know, my boyfriend is such a big inspiration to always use my voice and to always do the things that I'm interested in. He's really supportive. Sometimes it surprises me how supportive he can be. So yeah, that is my answer to the question, what was it like meeting your boyfriend for the first time? Sent in by Psalms 4818. Thank you for the question. I see a question from Chanel Chatter, or Channel Chatter. Probably Channel Chatter. I said Chanel. Channel Chatter. Yes, I do paint. Oh, Lakeisha Ross is back. I agree with this comment from Northern Verses. Wow, Ari, those were marvelous experiences you had. You had no idea. I've been blessed with so many marvelous experiences, and I want to share all of them. I want to share all of them with everybody. I see J Noir Caraway in the chat. Hi. I'm letting everybody know that I'm here for a good time, and if my idea of a good time isn't your idea of a good time, I hope you find somebody that you can have your idea of a good time with. But my idea of a good time is using our voices, sharing what we're thinking and feeling, and having some nice friendly connection here. ST Chucky's asking, have you written a book to share your travel story? Another wonderful question. We've had multiple. I'm blessed with questions today. So I started working on a book. I can get my work. I started working on a book because, I mean, I think it's inspiring to see female solo travel. In the time frame of 12 months, I went to 5 different countries in Europe and 7 different states in the United States. Let me see if I have this. There's a lot of different writing projects and they all just pop up and I embrace them. Let me see. I think it's called a travel journal. That should be what it's called. Let me see. The Travel Diaries. Travel Diaries of One That Once Forgot. That's what it's named right now. We'll see what it gets if the name changes. I've got 36 pages here, and they are not divided in chapters currently. One cool thing about live streaming is, as you can see with this work, I'm open to sharing the process of my books, which is really cool. I have no idea when this is going to be published. I don't write in a, I make sure I write every single day. I make sure I journal every day, but other than that, like, that's my only discipline. I want things to come through as natural as possible, but while still being accomplished. So yeah, this book is dedicated to the mindset and feeling of being trapped that controlled my finances and decisions for 4 years of my life. Without that period of time, I would have never experienced this period of time. I forgive, I let go, I trust. I can keep reading. I would like to. I haven't read this or touched this in months. I see Ahmad in the chat, Peter Cario in the chat. Hi. I answered this question earlier. I do not know for sure where I am from. An idea, one that I initially thought to be silly, was now my present moment. France in February. The day was February 1st. The year was 2023. I held all of my belongings in one suitcase and one backpack. A new journey begins. This is my travel story. And then we have a poem called Night Sky. I was alone under a clear night sky in an empty grass field. When would I be ready to go inside? I asked my mind. The response was, yes, let's go. My mind was one that was always ready to experience something new. My mind asked my soul, what about you? Are you ready to go? My soul replied, no. Stay here. Just be, forever and ever, you and me. I love this poem. This is a book called Travel Diaries of One That Once Forgot, written by Ari Star, which is my name. Thank you for being here and asking questions and sharing. I don't know why you wrote Bozeman ? Not sure. let me know. Oh, this is another one of my favorite poems. It's called Rock On. I wrote all of these. Yeah, so my name is Ari Star. But yeah, I wrote all of these in the year 2023 when I was in France. I was in a place where a lot of people had farm animals, and I really liked being there. Oh, no, it was in France. No, in France. Hi, Dawn. Thank you for the super chat. First one of today. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. The little rock spoke to me. Now, do you see? This is all meant to be. Or maybe none of it is. You know, I see. You're lost, confused. You have been used in every way, but not today. No, that disrespect is not here anymore. You are free. You are free. Release anxiety. A little rock said to me, listen, deeper. I have nothing to say. I'm just a rock. I love this poem. I hope you love it too. Oh, cool. That's awesome. Thank you for bringing up this book. It's been a long time since I looked over this, and I'm really glad that I got a super chat today. That helps my channel a lot. Any super chats you guys send would go towards either my personal savings account, my rent, or my groceries. Literally just building a foundation to be able to continue to be a full-time artist, writer, creator, just continuing to do the things I love to do. So any finances you send my way, anything you purchase that I've created, it just gives me more resources and safety and stability on my journey of being an artist. So thank you so much. It means a lot. I also have a Venmo and a Cash App account that if you ever wanted to contribute to my artist journey or my journey just sharing my creativity, you could also contribute that way as well. Thank you so much. I think that's all I'm gonna share from the travel diaries for now. Like I said earlier, it's 36 pages and I would have to put in a lot of work to feel like it's ready to be published. I have other pieces of writing that I can read. I am absolutely not an Aries. No. No, I am not. My sun is in Pisces. This is another book I have that I'm working on. It's called Your Big Dreams and Wild Heart Need You, and I designed the cover myself. It is To you and to our future selves, may we, in many moments in time, have the great honor of being able to feel content in who we are. May our unique magic in this world be embraced. May our lives continue to show us the beauty and the magic of others as well. May we feel happy and free. My love, I would never say that you've arrived late. You're always on time. You're always in the right place at the right time, of course. But if you decide that you are late, I assume you won't be feeling very great. So why would you ever choose to see it that way? You're in the right place at the right time. What you were doing before you found this live stream was sacred and meant to be, from my point of view. Namaste. Big dreams are ideas you have for your future that may or may not be considered crazy by the people that you know. Your choice to take action towards these ideas will change not only your life, but the lives of a lot of other people for the best. Wild Heart is the part of you that holds an infinite amount of love and appreciation for everything that exists. The powerful energy from this part of you is unconditional love. The survival of this love in a world full of conditions is rebellious. So it's meant to be a collection of writing written from 2019 to 2023. And I'll read some of these pieces before I go. This one is a really good one. Let your creativity free. Don't let fear in the world around you drown out the strength, courage, and power in the world within you. In this realm, I see that your world is a playground for the light energy that you are. Each one of us has our own world and our own definitions, our own perception and point of view. With that, create. You don't have to be anyone other than who you are to experience what you want to experience. Just be who you are and let yourself lead the way. In some ways, perhaps mentally and or emotionally, we all experience a different planet, even though physically we all live together on the same one. Does what you think about the planet that you are living on change the experiences that you have on that planet? Has your mind guided you into choosing life experiences that match the thoughts about life that you choose to entertain to be true, just to prove itself to be right? Yay! I loved your questions today, Songs. Thanks for leading this stream into a direction that I greatly enjoyed. Shout out to Dom for sending another super chat. Thank you so much. Thank you, Don. Your hands are high above your head, and you can't feel anything but music. Sound translates to you as rhythmic pulses travel through your body. You see the way the lights of the stage flash between your hands. Your experience is sacred. Everyone around you is one. Everyone is experiencing the same pulse, the music. It feels as though the same heart is beating within all that are alive. Music festivals transform me into an out-of-body experience. I always feel as if a festival is a break from being a human and I get to be something else. I don't care about the same things I usually care about. My mind is completely empty to all obligations and worries to a point where the only thing that there is room for is complete, pure love. Love for the music, the lights, the people all around me. I even feel connected to God more than ever at festivals. I set intentions for myself through the universe, say a lot of thank yous, and pray for those around me as well. The feeling is pure and strong and very centering. Written on March 30th, 2019. And I have pictures that I'm not sure if this will be like, because this is the page that I just read. So I'm thinking, I could have showed you the other pages. I had these pages here that I was reading from. But yeah, a work in progress. I appreciate being able to read pieces of my writing. If you like to read pieces of my writing on your own, my blog is linked on my YouTube channel. If you click on my link tree, you can find that I have a Patreon page. So if you like Patreon and you want to join my Patreon community, please definitely go check it out to get notified every time I post something new and get to read more of my writing more often, if that's something that you're interested in and want to do. Yeah, so I'm gonna go because I have dinner to go eat. Thank you for sharing your perspective, Dawn. Seeing so many things in the night sky. I believe you. That's amazing. And I'll connect with everybody again, hopefully. If I never connect with you again, I want you to know that I'm really grateful for the connection that we did get to have. And hopefully I do connect with you again. Thank you again for the super chats. January has been so far the lowest amount of super chats I've had. But I haven't been streaming as often as I have in the other months, so it does make sense in that way. But I appreciate a little boost. So thank you. And yeah, I'm really, really glad that I get to be a writer, and I'm glad that I get to share it with everybody. So thank you so much for choosing to support the YouTube channel by watching and subscribing, commenting, liking the posts. I hope you never feel like you're doing too many comments or too many likes. Share what you're thinking, share what you're feeling, let it all flow. And I'll connect with you again whenever that happens again.